Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you to those who commented on my previous videos. It is much appreciated. The name is Aperture to Zoom, and we're working on the old Panasonic Lumix G9, going through everything we can possibly on that camera. So look, I was supposed to do a video on a bit of a field trip because I'm trying to get out and about and just put this camera and for the time being the kit lenses through their paces. However, today the weather, as you can see with my little inset here, the weather had other plans. It has been nothing short of abysmal here on the Gold Coast of Queensland, Australia over the last week or so. It's been torrential rains. Luckily though, after my video last week, which I did on the Saturday, I decided to venture out on the Sunday while the weather was still nice and get some shots. I was actually going to go back there this weekend because I wasn't entirely happy. It was more like a just check it out thing, but I took the camera with anyway. And in hindsight, after I looked back at the photos and I reflected a little bit on the morning, because I got there just after sunrise, I could have done things a little bit better. But because the weather's so bad and I don't have any other photos to share with you, I'm forced to use the photos from last week to get this video out today. I can wait till tomorrow, but I thought, you know what, if the weather clears up, I'll do a second one tomorrow. What's in harm in doing a second video? So there is a field trip. There's just not as many photos as I would have liked. There's some lessons I've actually learned from last week's photos. I could have bumped up the ISO in some of these instances because you're dealing with wildlife, with kangaroos. They sort of sporadic and they can move quite quickly. So you want a high shutter speed to capture that. But it was a little bit challenging because it was early in the morning. And obviously when you want to focus purely on your subject, you've got to keep your aperture nice and wide. So I didn't want to mess with the aperture too much to focus purely on the subject. I was on a tripod, so I thought, you know what, I can drop that shutter speed substantially. But the trade-off for that is if your subject does move suddenly and you take the shot, you're going to get a bit of blur. Some of them is not quite as sharp as I would have liked, but you know, this is what the idea of the exercises are. It is to learn the lessons and then tweak them in the next field trip so that you just keep getting better and better again. So look guys, apologies that there's only a few photos, but like I said, it was a bit of a dry run just because I thought I'll go out there, do a bit of prep work. But the lesson for me was I should have prepared a little bit more. There was a very, very nice time when I first got there, because just after sunrise, the kangaroos all stand to sort of in this open field. And as the weather warms up during the day, they disappear and they go find their shady spots and go and sleep. But just after sunrise, they're out and about foraging and doing their stuff. And that's the best time to get some photos. So there was a period there where I should have really captured a lot more photos and maybe even done a little bit of video because the light was awesome. It really looked nice. But like I said, missed opportunity. But such is life. Caught a couple of photos of some birds. Sadly, no photos of any koalas. I spent about 40 minutes walking in this one area of the forest looking for koalas. And I may just try and introduce some video in there just so that you can see what the place looks like. Makes these videos a little bit more interesting rather than these talking head shots all the time, which can become boring. So look, enjoy the slideshow. Please comment. The photos are not, ideal, but if you get one or two at the end of the day, I'm quite happy with that. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm reasonably impressed with this 100 to 300 millimeter Panasonic lens, Lumix. So I suppose the 100 to 400 Leica will be just that much better. But look, as we discussed earlier, I'm going to be packing these kit lenses in its entirety. I don't really want to be spending any more money until I've mastered these lenses. So guy, talking about lenses and gear, there's some links in the description below. If you sort of in the market for something, please use the links below. Comment on these photos, stay and watch the slideshow, and then at the end, if you find the video useful and helpful, consider dropping us a like, subscribe if you choose to, and we will catch up in the next video. Thank you very, very much. Over and out. Bye-bye.